Good morning, world. Oh, we're up a little early today. Well, it's almost 7, though. I woke up probably around 6-ish and got up around quarter after. I don't know why, I guess I slept well. And then I heard Duchess, the other guest cat, here crying, so I went to see what it was about, and she was just lonely. She and Belle almost got to playing together. They're starting to get used to each other, so that's nice. And he's up too, so good morning.
Hello.
It's a good thing that I'm up earlier because I'm not sure how long it's going to take to bus to work from here, so I want to leave a bit early. I already have got the video almost all the way uploaded for the day, which is nice because it means I don't have to worry about it later on. Don't have to do the upload while I'm at work or anything like that.
Say la vie.
Say la vie. Say it.
Love you.
Good. I just got finished writing up a very angry letter to Leo, what's he called? The Community Operations Manager for Minto Parkwood Hills, which is the team that landlords over our home. It was a very long, thorough letter, so Annie's going to be bringing that in. I wish that she didn't have to be the one to have the talk with him, but I mean, I work during his hours, so I can't go in to the office at any point. So I wish Annie a lot of luck, because Minto can be a pretty big bitch.
I'm back here. If you don't recognize the place, and I don't blame you, I am going to my landlords again. Clement's at work, so it's up to me to do this. And I'm pretty nervous, so let's hope everything goes well for me. I'm back in the apartment. Look, apartment! Anyway, I went to the office. I managed to convince somebody to write us a check. She also said that she was going to check on the work order for the bathroom. I don't know if you've ever seen the bathroom floor in the vlog. It's pretty gross. There's a lot of water damage, and it's starting to peel up, and the actual floor itself, like there's the vinyl, but the actual floor itself is pretty rotten, I think. So anyway, she's checking on the work order for that, because we were supposed to have that done back in January. So I just came back here to grab a couple of things. I'm gonna head back home. Yeah, thought I should update. My hair looks a mess. Oh well. Hello, let's move here. Yeah, I'm back home. The basement here is like incredibly messy and creepy, and I don't know how I've slept in this little room back here. It's like half a wall, and the other half is being masked by garbage bags for my privacy. I don't know how I slept there for like 3 or 4 years. Story time. Back when I was in grade 10, we had an exchange student come along, and I was totally willing to give up my room, so I did. And back in this little area over here, the half wall, half garbage bag fun times, it used to be like a weird storage area. This poor exchange student from Korea had been looking all over for host families, and she found one, and then they had to give her up last minute. And so the principal of my old elementary school knew that my mom was a very open, caring person, and came to her begging to put her up for a couple of days until they found the host family. So she came in, it was like midnight. I remember giving up my room for her. I had no problem with that. So I remember moving down here, and it was just like a curtain. It wasn't even a wall at that point. And all the insulation foam, which I was really sensitive to, being all around me and sleeping there the first night, and it was really, really creepy down here. And that started like the 5 years of time that I remember being the worst. I have an anxiety disorder, and way back when I was like 15 or 14 or 16, like in that little area of happy teenage fun times, I was hit by it the worst, and I had a case of hallucinations as well. I had audio and visual hallucinations, and they were very, very bad back then. They were completely psychological, like, thankfully. I don't have to be on any sort of pills to control them. I just went through some cognitive therapy, some really heavy cognitive therapy, and then I also did some exposure therapy for a phobia. I'm okay with the phobia now, but like if you asked me what it was, I couldn't tell you because I can't speak the name. But I'm okay with seeing it. It was during that like 4 or 5 years of my life that I lived in this little room in the basement. So you can imagine how much fun that was. There are spiders here, there are creepy noises here, it's cold as all hell. It's a very creepy place. And I've had some of my worst hallucinations down here. Like the scariest, like I don't really, like I couldn't remember them at the time, but I remember coming to and crying on the landing upstairs with my parents on the phone, and I had tied the basement door shut. Like, pretty bad, fun stuff was happening. Those 5 years, 3 or 4 or 5 years, I don't know how long it was, honestly, that I lived down here were some of the worst years of my life. But, at the same time, it was around that time where I had met and become incredibly close to Clement. And, if he wasn't here, I really don't know what would have become of me during those times if he hadn't been there. He was the closest person, he's the person I've been the closest to ever in my whole life. Even my own family members aren't, they're not nearly as close to me as Clement is. Like, we think the same thoughts, we're like that creepily close. And I remember several times I had to go in, and once I was institutionalized for the better part of a week, because during those times I was having suicidal thoughts. And when my psychiatrist was asking my parents for permission to have me institutionalized, I remember they actually turned to him and asked what he thought about it, because he knew me better and they acknowledged that. So, yeah, those times were some of the worst times of my life, but at the same time, it's the time where Clement and I drew really close together. So it's kind of bittersweet whenever I come back here. A lot of bad things happened here, but Clement was always there for me here. He lived here for 2 years once, when he couldn't afford to pay rent. And my parents were incredibly kind to him, letting him live here without pay. You know, he would help them with groceries and things like that, but he lived here rent-free for a very long time. I think it's just because they acknowledged that he and I were so close and he was helping me out so much. And they consider him to be a part of the family now. Whenever I come back here, whether it's to stay here a couple days like I'm doing, or even just overnight, I think about all the time I spent in this room and all the problems we have at the apartment. But I'm much better off living by myself. I guess I'm just that type of person. I had to go out and grow up to really grow out of these problems. When I got my first job at the Walmart, that was fun. Even that helped me grow up, and growing up has been one of the big things that's helped me learn to, you can never control your anxiety, but you can learn how to master your reactions to it. And growing up, you know, getting a job, moving out, and dealing with all these problems that you do get as an adult has really helped me, strangely enough, learn how to deal with my anxiety. I know how to ground myself in reality and not let my fears run away with me. Several years ago, I couldn't, like, take a shower if there was no one else in the house or something. General anxiety disorder means that you're generally anxious. I guess that's the best way of putting it. Panic attacks just come from nowhere. And that's sort of what I think of whenever I have to come back here. But then I'm always, you know, thinking of how much I grew when I eventually got to live by myself. Oh, cat sneezes. I'm not completely, totally normal. I still have a lot of social anxieties. I always think, like, if I'm walking down a hallway, I guess the best way to explain it is to give an example. If I'm walking down a hallway and I hear people laughing, I will always think they're laughing at me. You know, I asked a couple people, why are you staring like that, Belle? There better not be a spider above my head. Huh. The cat was just suddenly like, what is that? For like nothing. Stop that. You're doing it again. Right, I was saying that, yeah, talking about how I'm always scared that people are judging me, and that's what my anxiety problems have evolved into, and it's like, they're more normal problems now. Some strange, messed up improvement over where I was, like, 3 or 4 or 5 years ago. I know being as large as I am, it's hard. Because, I mean, it's really my own fault. At the same time, there are a couple things, like with my feet, I have to wear orthotics. My feet are overpronated, I think is what it's called, is where the ankles sort of like lean inwards. And running hurts. Like immediately when I start running, my ankles and knees, because of the way they lean inwards, and it's been like that ever since I was really, really, really young. And they just immediately burn. And so exercising is hard. But really, it's always, unless it's like a hormone problem. When you have someone as big as me, it's their own damn fault. And I totally accept that. Being as big as I am, plus an anxiety disorder, not fun. Doing these vlogs has sort of forced me to look at myself, and I really hate doing that.
Almost back at the house. I am so hungry right now. So good news, progress on the whole landlord situation, but I'm gonna wait to eat first before I tell you because I am starving. Oh yeah, also I forgot to vlog my chicken nuggets again today, but I had chicken nuggets again today. Lucky me. So yeah, good results. So Leo called me today, Mr. Chief of Operations of Community Management something or other at Minto. And so yeah, he called me and we talked stuff out and came to an agreement, and he's rocking me back and forth. And yeah, so we're going to be compensated with $150 worth of grocery cards.
Of gross money, ew.
Ew. Grocery cards, because apparently he would have to go through a lot of red tape in order to get us an actual check, and we don't want to wait that long, and we're planning to use the money on groceries anyway, so
Yeah.
Grocery cards work.
Grocery cards work.
Yep.
By the way, I'm a vampire. You're too tall.
And also, he's going to be taking a look at our bathroom floor. I'm not sure if we've mentioned the bathroom floor at all, but it's bad. It's got a lot of water damage, and it's lifting up in one corner, and there's black spots, possibly mold. So they should be replacing that over the next few days, so that's also an awesome bonus.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, so yay!
It's super itchy.
Annie, stop having an itchy head. Just cut it off. So Debbie is helping Annie touch up her hair dye.
I can't remember if you're supposed to do your hair first or your roots if you're going from darker to lighter, because I think, is my actual hair color darker than this red? Yes. Do you think you can run and grab my phone?
Is it? Because the red looks about the same shade, actually, like darkness wise. Oh, it's getting late again. By the way, that's a good look for you.
Yep. The one ear thing.
It's like seductive because you just have to use your imagination to see the other ear.
And use your imagination to take all the red puffiness out of my face.
Oh, yeah.
My helix piercing is super swollen right now, I think.
Is it? I can't really.
It feels like it's swelling.
I can't really see any swelling.
Look, there's like a light.
Ooh. Lens flare. You petting the light. Anyway, I'm getting really sleepy, so I'm gonna get ready for bed. She's gonna
towel off my hair. I feel like I followed the instructions for the package of this hair dye, and I feel like the roots of my hair are gonna be a lot lighter than the rest of my hair. And so I feel like this is gonna be like a shade or two lighter than the rest of my head.
Hopefully it'll look okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Everyone cross your fingers in the comments. I don't know how.
ASCII art. Do ASCII art.
Do ASCII art.
30 minutes on ASCII art.
Yeah, if you love us, do that.
At least it'll all be red this time and not red and brown.
Yeah. Yeah, well, no, it's better than having your roots showing. Anyway, I think that was a good long vlog, and I'm sleepy.
Oh, don't fall asleep.
It's too late.
Careful, my ear. Okay, you're asleep.